This conference will now be recorded.
You can see my screen, right? I'm on second slide now.
Uh,
No, no,
no,
no.
I,
I have
I'm still,
clicked on first. Yeah, now you should see it.
yes.
Okay. So now, so that's the generic description. Now coming to IT world, how IT operated earlier was there was no rule, there was no this thing, and when any company when starts developing, right, any industry, it is smaller, right?
Mhm.
5 people, 10 people company located in one office, so it is easy when 10 people are locating in one office. So all 10 can come together, decide what to work, and then start developing. But the complexity increases when you start growing bigger and bigger, right?
That's
It could be different geographies, which could be in same city different building, or same state but different cities, or same country different state. It could be across geographies. So
mhm.
when they started growing, it became difficult to manage the work. Now, if you have to build a software system, who is working on what, it's difficult to manage, right? You need to have some kind of processes that will suggest you, or that will become a guideline, okay, so that
Mhm.
everybody is on same page. Now,
Same page,
if I
yes.
do not, yeah, let's say we verbally talk and 10 of us and we start working on it, there could be a misunderstanding between what we just discussed. So it could happen that we both are working on same thing, which is
Mhm.
duplication, like waste of time, right? Duplication of effort,
That's right.
or there's something which gets missed just because we did not discuss about it. So after a couple of months, you realize that, oh, this thing has been done thrice, and there's something which has not been done at all. So they started thinking about how to bring more order, how to bring more um, uh, process thing into software management, so that it becomes easy for all of us to manage software. So they
Mhm.
started what is called as project management practice, and we have stages like plan, build, test, and implement. So they looked at the construction industry. So construction industry is probably the most oldest and most stabilized kind of industry, where they have all the processes, right? So
Mhm.
IT industry borrowed the terminologies and the main idea from construction industry, and they came up with what is called as project life cycle. They said, okay, first we need to plan. Before you start coding, we need to plan, saying what all things we need to build, who will build it, who all will be working on the project, and you assign all the responsibilities on paper to everyone, so that everyone knows what their roles are when
Mhm.
what they need to develop. That's called planning. Plan. Then is build. Build is actually you code. So building, of course, is to build the bridge or house. But here in IT, it's more of coding the software. Okay, so you started coding. So everybody knows what they need to do. They start coding, and then you will put them all together. Then comes the stage testing, where you test the software if it's working fine or not, and
Mhm.
this is
And
where the
flaws
QA comes
then.
in picture, quality
Oh,
control stage. Yeah. So you test it, and once you're satisfied, yes, this is what customer want, then you go and implement.
mhm.
Okay, so implementation is taking that software to customer side and installing it at customer side, so that they are able to take benefit of this uh, software.
Mhm.
So this is the new process that came into IT: plan, build, test, and implement. But still, people felt that it's not working, and we have some statistics from IT industry, where they said that only 16% of the project got completed on time and on budget.
Mhm.
Okay, that means, so we have three main aspects of project: time, cost, and quality.
Mhm.
So quality is something which you will realize on the testing. When you test it, you can see the quality of the product. Whether it's and if it is below the standard level, you would not give to customer. You will build it, make it more better, and then you will give to customer, right? So
Mhm.
quality, there is no compromise on quality, because If you give bad kind of software to your customer, you will not only lose that business, probably you never get business in future from the company. Because they'll remember the last time we gave them, they did not deliver a good product.
Yeah, that's right.
Time and money budget are the things which keep on increasing. So imagine 5 out of 6, or I think 1 out of 5 out of 6 projects, they exceeded on time on budget, and both of these will hamper the customer, right? When you promise something that you'll deliver in 3 months, and if you are taking 6 months to deliver, that's a problem. Okay, you or second budget is even worse. You promise, you have planned for $500,000 project. Okay, and based on that, you have quoted $500,000 to customer. Customer agreed, and you started working on it. But then you realize that initially it was 350K. Now you are spending 700K.
Mm-hmm.
Gone. You are paying from your pocket for customer to use your solution. And so those are the problems, and there are other problems, but it's mainly because of time and cost. And why those
Cost.
time and cost? There's a problem. Now, the problem because you do not understand the customer's requirement correctly. Now, I tell you, oh, Sujal, we can do this course in 5 days. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and then when I start working, it takes, let's say, more than that. Then probably
Mm-hmm.
I did not understand your requirement. I did not estimate the effort that is required to complete or do this training from our side, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the reason is when you do not give enough attention to what customer is telling you. If I do not ask you and I start trading, and I after 15 days I say I'm done, and then you say, yeah, but I wanted to know these things. You have not covered them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now it's better to understand those things from the customer beforehand, so that you can plan for what customer wants. Right? I
Yeah,
give you something which you don't want, it's not going to help you. And we
that's
just
right.
wasted, right? We wasted our effort, time, and resources and everything.
Resources and
So,
everything. That's right.
exactly. And that's where people realize that really, okay, so it says that the analysis is that we should spend more time on analyzing. And there is a saying, I think, that, if you have 1 hour to cut a tree, 30 minutes or 45 minutes you'll spend sharpening your axe. Then, start cutting. So sharpen your axe, and then start cutting, it becomes much faster. So we have to spend more time on analysis, okay, then actually developing the. If you understand it correctly, probably it could be done in shorter way than taking a longer route. And this is where most of the errors also originate. Okay, and fixing that is so difficult. No, I take class for 2 weeks, and I say I'm done. Then we realize that we have not covered few topics. I have to redo, right? So the 2 weeks that is lost cannot come back,
That's right.
right? Instead, if you fix it before itself, on the day one itself, then there is no or very minimal loss. So this is what it's saying, that cost to fix a problem which has a analysis problem, okay, where you do not understand the question correctly or properly, would lead to the analysis part, or the and analysis part. We'll talk about what that part means. Analysis part, and that's where the most problem originates. Is costly to fix. So we have to spend more time on that, right? Something which is a cause of mistake. Not only that, it's expensive to fix it. So we need to attack that. So people started finding what more than planning. We have planning, but do we need something more than planning? Then they came up with additional 2 stages. We call it as describe and define. So people felt before we need to make plan, before you make plan, you need to understand what customer want. So we are saying describe and define. See, there is, if we need to do any kind of work, project or something, that means you want to improve upon something. So you want to do something new, right? So when you want to do something new, first question you have to ask is, why do I have to do something new? Okay, is what is the need for doing something new? If you want to build a software product, not because you need software product, but there is a need for that. Any business, whether it's Microsoft or anyone, will give you business only when they understand why you need it, right? So they
Mm-hmm.
say describe stage should be the first stage. In describe, you are describing the current situation, currently what is happening. Then second stage talks about define. Define what customer needs it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So describe and define has been added prior to the the project life cycle, or we call it project management. Okay. So before you even plan, you need to first understand what is the current situation, what is the future state that company customer is looking at, and based on that, you need to create your plan.
Mm-hmm. That's
So
right.
that's when the IT industry started developing, talking about business analysis. They said, okay, let's separate business analysis from project management, and this
Mm-hmm.
is where we need to have a BA, and this is where project management would do. So describe, define is BA role. It's all about understanding what customers want. That's right. It says what customers want.
Mm-hmm.
Plan, build, and act is
Project manager.
project management. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So the difference between PM and BA, PM manages the project and BA manages the product. Okay. So with limited discussion what we had, can I tell you what is the difference between project and product? Make it try.
Uh, Manages the product and PM manages the project. Okay. So BA basically, I mean, they manages the product like, let's say for an example, if we look at the iPhones, right? So if I mean BA would define that how the next model should be, and then they, I mean, they describe that okay, what changes needs to be done and stuff in order to make a better next generation model, and they basically show us the next generation idea, and then project manager is basically put this idea onto the scale and brings out the product, and then
Hmm.
they do all the performance, and finally they launch the product is the
Okay.
way.
Yes, yes, I would say very close to, yeah. And what is project?
Yeah, so project is basically, I mean, now once they describe that, okay, this is how the next model, it will have all the, I mean, software and stuff. And then in project, they'll plan first that, okay, let's arrange all these products, and then they build the product. Once the product is built, then they'll analyze that if it is sustainable or not. And once it is there, then they'll launch it. So basically, project is where you have a time frame of setting up this product onto the required aspects.
Uh, okay. So this product probably more closer. Project is it's more clarity is in the project. Okay. So in a way, your product is made of multiple projects. Let's say this training itself. Now this
Mm-hmm.
training is a project. Okay. In project, there is a lot of clarity. You know that in this project you'll be the learner, I'll be the one who's talking about the course. We will have course for next whatever, like 3 weeks or so, like
Mm-hmm.
30 hours. Okay. So the objective is very set. It's clear. We have a fixed syllabus, right? We
Mhm.
have a fixed syllabus. We'll go through that, so that objective is very set. We know we have the success parameters. So, all those things is done. So, uh, projects are temporary endeavors. So it has a start, it has an end. Okay. Now, if you
Mhm.
talk about building a bridge or coming up with this metro train. Now, metro rail project could be a 5-year, 10-year project, but still there is a deadline to it. Okay, it need not be temporary. Means doesn't mean only one day or 6 months or one year. Even if it is 20-year project, you know that after 20 years this project will be completed, it will be done, right? So that's what a
Mhm.
project. It's a temporary, and there's a lot of clarity. So you know what needs to be done. You have done all the understanding. You have, and then you do planning and implementation and all.
Mhm.
Product is like your situation. What kind of job I look at in UX? Okay. Now you have it starts from uh, scratch. Okay. What should I manufacture from manufacturing perspective? Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. So these are the 10 things I manufacture. Okay. You start. You you realize then you realize that, oh, it's not possible. You don't have technology to manufacture that. Okay. You'll
Mhm.
drop that idea, right? You start doing R&D, and after some time realize that it's not working. So maybe you'll do some course correction. You'll do different approach. So the product, there is no, in a way, there is no um, end goal in mind, right? So it's complete life cycle of of your idea, which is right from scratch till it goes to market, and then it's out of market. When you say it's out of market, your product is completed. There's no this thing like old mobile phone models, if you see, right? So somebody
Mhm.
has thought of it, built it, took it to market, and after some time, the demand no, there's no demand for it, got out of market, right? So if
That's
you look
right.
at these products, you don't even know how long that product will be in the market, right? It could be
Mhm.
like many times many product doesn't even see the light of the day, right? So it gets abandoned for whatever reason, taking a lot of cost, technically not feasible, no demand, customer not interested, whatever. But some product goes to market and becomes a big hit. Then it's there for, let's say, 5 years. Some
Mhm.
product doesn't, is not hit, and probably you'll pull out in 3 months. So that is end to end of idea is called your product. And in the process, you can have multiple projects, right? One project is to manufacture the product. One project could be, how do I send it to retail stores.
Mhm.
So when you start a project, you have very good clarity of what needs to be done, right?
Yeah, and you
Of
have a
course,
set of
project can,
timelines.
yeah, but when you start product, you have a vague idea, right?
Mhm.
As you keep working on it, your idea will get lot of clarity,
Clarity, that's right.
right? So that's why. So if you in reality, BAs are responsible not only when project is completed, but even after post project, somebody can call you. Sujal, we worked on that project, but now there's a problem here. Uh, can you join? Can we fix that? Right?
Mhm.
Then it depends. When you join, you will do the analysis, and then will come out. Oh, this is technical problems. Let's involve technical people. Or this is a marketing problem. Let's involve marketing person. Right?
Mhm.
Or this is not at all a problem. This is what customer want, and this is what customer is getting. It is not even a problem. Right? All three things is possible when you are handling a product. So product is much bigger in scope than project. Okay.
Mhm.
So talking about the business itself, um, the first step, I see every business, whether large, small, no, or old or young, all these businesses, they every year they have to work and add some features to the product, right? Even the product is very old established, still they have to run, still they have to run, uh, the the new project. Okay, because every business will have some problem. Okay, so it talks about what kind of problems a business will have. We talk about pains. Pains
Mhm.
mean uh, like Nokia kind of company, right? They were doing well, now the products are not selling, so they have paid. So they need people to tell them what should they do so that they can get rid of that pain, right?
Mhm.
Hopes, startups. Startups is like there's a hope that you start your own business venture thinking that one day your business venture will be
Yeah.
successful. Of course, not same day, same month, or may not even be same year, but
Mhm.
you have hope that one day you'll have a lot of customers and your project will be hit. So that's the hopes. The number one companies in the world will have fear. Okay, today we are number one. Everybody respect us, but then tomorrow we could be three, then we could become five, and then 10. So they continuously innovate. Okay, then you have problems, opportunities, problems. There's a problem for the company like unrest in Egypt, opportunity where, and if government starts saying that we'll spend more money on generic, okay, um, then that will have a positive impact on the business. That's opportunity.
Mhm.
Mandate. Okay, so these are some of the reasons why a a business will need to change itself. Okay, so we call them as determined business process. The process is called determined business need. So what is the business need of a company? Okay, based on that they will plan their project for that year. If you talk about top three pharma company in the world, okay,
Mhm.
not all of them will have same requirement or the business need. One would focus on cost, second might focus on revenue, right? So for every project that you want to start with, you have to first understand what is the business need for the company,
Mhm.
right? So that's one part. This is where you will talk to the business and you'll get it. Second part is uh, uh, a business analysis. Okay, so you have business analysis, facts, numbers, possibilities, etc., and also uh, let's say industry reports. Okay, so the fact is from your own business conditions and possibilities. Conditions are, let's say, legal condition, all the environment under which you operate, and possibilities, let's say, data saying that the particular industry will grow by 30%. It will be a good news for you. But no, this
Mhm.
is we will see a shrinkage in that industry growth. It's a negative for you, right? So actual business need plus what's happening in the industry. So this is the first slide which I spoke about. This is the first slide, right? So
Mhm.
your problem along with what's happening in the industry together you will merge and then you'll come up with a desired solution. Okay?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So as a BA, we have to understand both the business need as well as the industry under which they're operating, what the industries are about. Okay, so let's move ahead. This is the okay. So Sujal, whenever you want to stop, let me know. Okay, we will then wrap up. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So okay. So as long as you have energy to listen, I have energy to speak. We'll continue.
So, just I mean, question, Gaurav. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
usually, how are we planning on doing this going forward? This training. I mean, um, time wise or schedule wise and stuff. So
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
could plan accordingly.
Yeah, so good question. Actually, Ram did send me your schedule, and
Uh-huh.
and before I could see your schedule, he suggested Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Friday I had. some office work, some outing, and that's why I said that we couldn't have on Friday. So
Mhm.
um, for next 1 month, I've got three different courses, including yours, uh,
Oh,
and
okay, okay, okay.
and all three are like in the same zone kind of thing. So,
Uh-huh.
so first you tell me, okay, okay. So the how we started today, right? So
Mhm.
uh, is is it okay? Is it okay that way, or it's not possible? So first you tell me, you want to do 5 days a week or 7 days a week or less than that? Let's talk about that first.
Um, I mean, the thing is, how my schedule is. If I work 3 days in a week, I get 4 days off.
Okay,
Uh, so the day I work, I usually come home by around close to 10 o'clock. That's why I
okay,
said let's do it at 10,
10:30. Okay,
10
okay,
30, right? And then
okay.
next day, let's say if I have to work, I leave home by 7, 7:15, 7:20, right? So I mean, pretty much the full day I'm at work. And the
Okay.
day I'm off, like I'm 4 days off, 3 days off. So, the days I'm off, I don't mind stretching it a little longer.
Yeah, yeah,
And only the day, let's say if I'm working, if I'm doing one right now, and if I have to work tomorrow, then I wouldn't like to, do a
correct,
longer
correct,
sleep.
correct,
Yeah.
correct,
Otherwise, I wouldn't
correct.
be able to focus on my work next day.
Right, I understand. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Sleep is proper sleep is important. Yeah.
Mhm.
So, so what we could do is we can keep the start time same, okay, so that
Mhm.
there's no confusion. And end time, you
I
tell
mean,
me that
if I mean, if you let me know your timings, and I'll
Mhm.
see if it, I mean, if I could able to adjust here and there.
Yeah. Actually, this time is good for me, like your 10:40 kind of thing,
Uh-huh.
because my wife is gone and I'm based out of Hyderabad.
Oh,
So
you're
it's
based in Hyderabad. Okay, okay.
Hyderabad, yeah. So this is like, early morning for me. So
Mhm.
I can stretch for a couple of hours before I go to my office.
Oh, okay,
Uh,
okay.
and evenings, my evenings, which is your morning, problem
Mhm.
is I've got one class, that's okay, but I get calls, and sometimes that schedule can get disturbed. You
Oh,
know,
okay, okay.
uh, some unplanned calls, meetings, and things like that with my US counterpart, and so that's why I prefer morning because morning there's not much disturbance.
Mhm. Yeah,
um,
so that's right. That's fine. I mean, let's say um, he didn't tell me about tomorrow. Did he say for tomorrow or?
I think yes. He told me like your Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Thursday,
Uh,
Friday, Saturday. So yeah,
so
Saturday
yeah,
night.
yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. And how about Sunday night? Did he say about?
I no. So for now, he had just given for 3 days, but we can
Okay.
extend it. I can speak to Ram. So
Uh-huh.
if the start time is okay, because the confusion will be about the start time,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
If you can fix the start time,
Mm-hmm.
and then anytime you tell me that Gaurav, let's end it here. Let's do only half an hour today. Let's do 2 hours today. So
Okay, okay, okay.
that that will be between we both. We can manage it. It's just the
Yeah,
start time is when we need to fix it so that we both are online at the same time.
that's right. Yeah. So I mean, if this is fine for you, I don't mind.
Okay,
I mean, today it's fine. Tomorrow I can stretch more, and the day after I can stretch more, because the
perfect.
next day, I mean, Monday I'm off again. So, but the day, let's say if I'm working next day, I wouldn't
Yeah,
want it more than an hour.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Because I mean, I have to wake up at around 6 o'clock,
Right.
and in that frame, let's say if I went to bed at 12, I need some fire, sleep good.
Yeah.
So.
Sure. So let's target for all 7 days in that case,
Hmm.
right? And if there's a change in schedule, we'll of course communicate to each other. But let's then target same start date for all 7 days, and
Yeah.
end time we can decide on the call. That's not a problem.
Okay.
I think that sounds good. There's one class which which is just before your, which is on supply chain management.
Oh,
So that
supply. Okay.
yeah, so that we just started 2 weeks back. It'll take some time because supply chain a little longer. So
Mm-hmm.
BA that class will get at this will end at the same time, almost around the same time. That's what I'm expecting. So
Okay.
we can't do
Also,
before this
you
time.
are in this teaching business, or are you? Is that what you do on side, or?
Yeah, this is my on-site. So happened that see, after some time you get bored and you want to do something different,
Uh-huh.
and so we just I saw uh, I saw an ad about 5 years back that they wanted somebody to do BA training, and I
Mm-hmm.
said, okay, let's do it. So and that's how it started. So the BA training, I'm I'm doing this for almost like 5 years now,
Uh-huh.
and so that's my main training. The BA is my main subject, and I've been doing it. Once in a
Mm-hmm.
while, there will be requests for things like supply chain. Supply chain is not fast-moving training like BA. It's you get probably once in one training in 6 months or something like that,
Uh-huh.
because demand for that is less. So that's when I take up those courses, and for those courses, the instructors are also very few, very few. So they,
Okay.
so I have two person. Like Ram is one contact, and there's one more contact. So they said, okay, let's, so and based on that, so I have to manage my time on that way.
Yeah,
So
that's right.
yeah,
Because you're working on as well, right? So
yeah,
that's
yeah.
and the
I'm working,
family.
family, and more importantly, in the evenings because I've got a team now. So there's a
Uh-huh.
lot of meetings, discussion, and things like that. What happens? So our head office is based in Phoenix, Arizona.
Oh, Arizona, Phoenix. Okay. Which
Yeah,
company are
but
you for, if you don't mind?
yeah, I'll tell. It's JDS Software.
JDS Software. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so sometimes my boss sits in US. My direct boss,
Mm-hmm.
he's no, he's in Dallas. Sorry. So my
Oh,
direct
Dallas, Texas. Okay.
boss is in Dallas. The head office is in Arizona. So mostly my meetings happen with Dallas people, and my colleagues in US colleagues are based at 3 4 locations. So we try to have meetings. So Monday evening, we have a regular meeting every week. Then there'll be some meetings coming up, some new projects. So that's why my evenings are very unplanned.
Okay.
Uh, so that's why I
Morning
don't
is good
want to
for you.
spend
Yeah, that's right.
morning is yeah, and I can choose to see my emails late also because nobody would expect a response in the morning,
Uh-huh.
but in the evening they would
Yeah,
want
obviously
immediate
for your
feedback.
evening, it's our morning here, right? So I think those guys would
Yeah,
want to talk to you that time.
yeah. Yeah. So that's one. So tomorrow you have work, right? Tomorrow you have to go to work.
Tomorrow, yeah, but I have to start at 9. So I mean, I'll
Okay,
leave home at 8.
okay,
Um, and the day after is the same thing.
okay, okay.
But
Sure.
Sunday, I mean, we can stretch longer if it's okay
Yeah,
for you too, because
yeah,
Sunday, I mean, Monday I'm off again, so I don't mind stretching it longer.
sure. Great, great. So we'll do that.
Hmm.
Okay.
Okay, good.
So yeah. So that's what. So we'll start at same time, and we'll
Uh-huh.
manage our time once we log in. Once we are
Good.
speaking, then we can manage our time.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so what you see on the screen right now is a textbook definition. There's a organization called IIBA, International Institute of Business Analysis,
Mm-hmm.
iiba.org. So now if you Google, you'll get many organization, but this IIBA is the most respected and oldest, not very old, but oldest, comparatively oldest among different organizations, which
Mm-hmm.
talk about uh, the business. So business analysis, best practices, what should be the actual process and things like that. They also have a certification. Okay, I think it's CBA, which is very popular. Uh,
Uh-huh.
it, yeah, it is a little expensive, but it is well. So this could be an opportunity to do that. PMP, which is mostly from project management,
Project management
customer
program.
management. Yeah, so it is led by the PMI, right? Project Management Institute, which gives
Mm-hmm.
PMP certification. So PMI also started a business analysis certification.
Oh, okay,
So
okay.
yeah, so there are no, there are few institute which gives certification in business analysis, and the
Mm-hmm.
course that we have designed is based on IIBA, because IIBA is more I mean the comparatively oldest, I told you, and more respected. So the course is
Mm-hmm.
designed in that way. And while going forward, you can do some search and in Google search about certification. You can ask me questions, and if you feel that you need to do some certification, and you can tell me which certification you want to do. I can even customize for that, and more or less they are all same. Okay,
Okay.
not big difference, but we can try to uh, change a little bit to see if something is included or not, and things like that.
Uh-huh.
There are a couple of more. There's yeah, you will when you Google you will see. But IIBA is number one, and I would say PMI number two because PMI has a PMP. So it's again most well recognized organization, and
For
I'm not
PMP, yeah,
sure.
that's right.
Yeah. So the definition, standard definition, as per IBA, is on the screen. So
Mm-hmm.
the first part on the top talks about business analysis. What is business analysis? Okay, as a subject. And at the bottom you will see business analyst. So who is a business analyst? So if you see
Okay.
that it's business analysis is the set of tasks and techniques. Okay, so if you understand what we will be doing as part of this course is to just understand tasks and techniques. That's it,
Mm-hmm.
right? So business analysis is all about tasks and techniques used to work, okay, as a liaison. So when it's a liaison, there has to be something between, right? Liaison among
Mm-hmm.
different two groups at least. So as a liaison among stakeholders. So stakeholders are the customers. Mostly the right word is stakeholders
Mm-hmm.
are the one who who is looking for a uh, solution from you, right? So there's it's called a stakeholder because their business is at stake. If you give them wrong solution, the business will have a problem, right?
Mm-hmm.
So business will suffer. So they're called stakeholders. Stakeholders, customers, are the ones that will give you the requirements. So as a BA, you'll be talking to stakeholders to understand what they want. Okay, so that's why we talk about stakeholders. So among stakeholders, in order to understand structure, policies, and operational. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so you are trying to understand their structure, policies, their operation, so that you can give them a solution. You can recommend a solution that enable the organization to achieve its goal. So you want to
Mm-hmm.
first understand their objective, then give them a solution, recommend a solution. So that will be from the technical team. You recommend a solution which will help them to achieve their goals. So that's
Goals.
the definition of business analysis.
Mm-hmm.
Business analyst is any person who performs business analysis. So if you are doing in your role talking to customer and trying to fulfill what they want, talking to
Mm-hmm.
stakeholder is the key here. Okay, if you are doing that, you are a business analyst, irrespective of what your role is. or what your title is basically. So the title can be anything, and as I said, in the industry, uh, sometimes on the as a your title could be data analyst.
Data
Okay,
analyst,
you're
yes.
data analyst, but still you're talking to customer to get the data. You're trying to
Hmm.
understand, right? So you are a business analyst, just that you are using techniques and tools to work on the data, right?
Hmm.
And the reason why somebody would hire you because you can understand their terminologies, you can understand their business process, the stakeholders business process. Stakeholder business process could be a guy like you doing same work. Okay, now
Hmm.
they need some, you're developing a software for them, so you can talk, understand how they are doing the business process and suggest. That is one aspect. Second aspect, if you see from the first definition, it says it's not just what they say, but it's about the solution that will help them to achieve its goal.
Hmm.
So, if I'm your customer, okay, if I say that Sujal, I need this, you should be in a position to tell me, no, Gaurav, what you are saying is probably not right in this case. In this scenario, this can change, and that's why we should be looking at this kind of solution. Now, if you are a technology person, software developer, you would not be able to say that. You will say, okay, whatever you say, I will do it. But since you come from same business, you understand the business. So when I'm trying to say something, you can find a fault, not fault, but probably let's say leeway or something, which you say,
Hmm.
Gaurav, we should do it in a different way. And that's why, uh, that's a, if you ask me, what is the difference between a good BA and bad BA? This is the difference. Good
Hmm.
BAs will understand the challenge problem even before it is being built, because the cost of solving the problem there is less, right?
That's right.
And if you say, no, no, okay, whatever you say is right, I'm going to build it, and once you build and give it, it may not fit the solution. So ask all your questions, get all the clarification,
Hmm.
in the beginning itself. But again, if you think it's wrong and customer insists on, no, this is what we want, of course you will listen to customer, right?
That's right.
But you must put your comment in the documents, and BA is all about documentation. You have to document everything that
Mhm.
you suggested this and customer did not agree, because tomorrow, let's say if that project failed, okay, and they come back and they say we should have done this, why didn't you tell me? You will have a written proof saying that, see, I told you on this and this was your response.
Hmm.
If we have not documented, that means that has not happened. Simple.
Yeah, so it all
Right?
comes on even, yes.
Yeah, it'll come. Yeah, and more, you from farmer businesses, you understand it better than others, right? If it
Hmm.
is not written, it hasn't happened, right? So even if you suggest and customer doesn't agree, of course you have to go with customer, but then you put down your comment that this was suggested, but then company did not accept, and this was the reason why they went ahead with this particular, you know, project proposal or whatever it is.
Hmm. So why do
Okay.
I see, I mean, this position more in the banking sector a lot? Business analyst. Like,
You're right. Actually, 50% of the work that you'll see in business is is in the finance sector. So, banking, insurance, and things like that. Because
uh-huh.
I think bulk of the IT work that happens is for finance.
Uh-huh.
Bulk of the IT work, if you talk about headcount of TCS or Wipro or Infosys,
Hmm.
bulk of their headcount is on finance project. So it could be banking, insurance, and things like that. And they are right.
Uh-huh.
Bulk of the jobs in IT is for these.
Because
Then
here
second comes
also, I mean,
healthcare.
in bankings, I see a lot of like even my, friends and extended friends, they all are like, if I ask them, okay, what are you doing and stuff after the engineering? They're like, oh, I'm with this bank, I'm with this bank. And I just think in my mind, I was like, you're a mechanical engineer, man. You're this engineer. How come you're in the bank? And he's like, "Oh, I'm a business analyst." And I was like, "Okay."
No, that is true. Globally, uh, bank has employed a lot more people directly, indirectly than any other business. That is true.
Uh-huh.
Uh, but second comes healthcare. You know,
Okay.
so second business is healthcare, and then comes any other sector.
Oh, okay. Good. Yeah. I mean, if it will be the first will be me in my group if it is in healthcare, then yeah.
Uh, yeah, and healthcare. See, one more reason is uh, healthcare, for that matter, because of so much of restriction, adoption of IT is very difficult. Okay,
Uh-huh.
um, you have to you have to make so much of duplicate effort, make notes, keep a record and things like that, right? So there's no innovation place for innovation. You
Mm-hmm.
cannot bypass the channel, okay? Because see, IT, all those things will help you when you want to do something very fast.
That's right. Yeah.
But if yeah, but if you have to do slow, if you have to have a slow process, then a paper and pen is best. You can you can still do it. So uh, because of regulation, I think the healthcare is kind of slow, and in healthcare, IT is not given that importance because it's more of the process. But in
Mhm.
banking, if you see, most of the things are automated. Now, if you talk about stock market, you talk about transfer of funds from one bank to one account to another account, right? They want to
Yeah.
analyze. So you will get phone calls saying that, do you want a credit card? But they will not call you, do you want a MRI done,
Yeah.
right?
I think
So
you're right. I mean, in healthcare, it's very highly regulated field, and that's
yeah,
the reason even here in US, I mean, even the big companies, if they wanted to put their foot in, they just go away from it. Like
right, right.
right now, Amazon is thinking to coming into this pharma market, but it's still taking them a lot of time.
Out of time, yeah. See, you have to let's say you want to like most of medicines you can't buy without prescription.
That's
Some
right. Yeah.
medicines you have to upload the prescription, and somebody in Amazon, let's say, has to verify if the prescription is right or not. For example,
Hmm.
tomorrow if you upload some blank paper and you get the medicine,
That's right. Yeah, and there's so much regulations in it, right? I mean,
so much
who
regulation.
knows if
Yeah,
those prescriptions are legit or not? And
yeah, yeah. So, yeah, so that's the problem, and also the scope is also limited, right? I mean,
Mhm.
in banking, everybody's a customer, so you could take the data, analyze, and you never know your credit card information is with so many people. Okay,
Mhm.
the many companies they know your spending. So the moment in 1 month, let's say you have you have wedding or something, you or maybe you're planning to visit your family, you do a lot of shopping.
Mhm.
Immediately from next day, you'll start getting a call. So you want to do balance transfer, do you want to
Yeah.
take a loan to pay? So those data they keep checking. So when there's
Uh-huh.
a see a different, oh, this guy probably needs money, and they'll start
Mhm.
calling you in and that also has given employment to a lot of people, right? And a lot
Yeah,
of
that's right.
IT and all those things has come into those kind of segment. But as I said, right, and you won't say, sir, that tomorrow you might get a heart attack. You want to visit
Or they
a
can call you
hospital.
and say, "Oh, you need this medication or whatever," because it again involves privacy in this matter. Uh,
Privacy, correct,
so,
correct. And
and
those
in
are not
healthcare, it's a big thing.
available. True, true. So yeah, but in healthcare, and I was there for 5 years. So there are companies talking about personalized health and things like that. So
Uh-huh.
what they're saying is that, like for example, composition. Uh, we have comes with standard composition, right? 5 mg,
Mhm.
10 mg, 15 mg, things like that. And based on your age and things like that, they will recommend you 5 mg or 10 mg. They will not.
That's
They
right.
can't recommend you 7.5 mg or 6.5 mg. It has to
Mm-hmm.
be standard of 5, 10, and whatever, depending upon the medicine, or it could be 1 mg, 2 mg.
Yeah.
So now what they're saying, they'll want to have IT into it, which will recommend exact mg for the particular build of the person.
Mhm.
And you need to you have a so even let's say if I'm able to recommend, so that is still far off, but still let's say if I'm able to recommend it, then the pharmacy has to prepare that kind of composition. You need to have a system which you just
That's
enter
right.
6.5 and it will create a composition. You cannot break it and so yeah,
Make
so
a
those things
6.5.
will take time, but those are like complex uh, formulation than
Mm-hmm.
thinking kind of thing. So yeah, but then second role or second popular is healthcare. Then comes your supply chain, logistics, and all those kind of
Yeah,
things.
I mean, I mean, I wish like in this healthcare they'll find all this easy solutions and stuff. Because the way I mean, as I am in the field, I know the problems, and I wish that okay, they'll find the IT-based solutions on this.
Yeah. So see, the problem is complex because it involves somebody's life, right? But
Mm-hmm.
because of this complex, there are people who take benefit of that also, right? Uh, they try to take benefit of that situation. So, but second, no, on the other side, if you look at the
Mm-hmm.
demand for experienced people is much more respected in healthcare, right? In finance, probably you read a book and you can become finance expert and you are ready to handle those business process. But
Mm-hmm.
in healthcare, it's not that easy. You cannot just read book and uh, so
Yeah, you're
when
right.
we
You
yeah.
gotta.
So when yeah, so go ahead.
I mean, you're right. Like I said, up here, I spoke with my friend, and he said it's it's easy if you get the training and stuff, and you learn and you get the experience, and you can get
Yeah,
into. Where in our side, without a license, you cannot do anything.
you cannot do
Like
anything.
everything and stuff, right? Like for pharmacy, you have to have a license. For doctor, you have to have a license.
Yeah.
So,
Uh, in a previous company, when I was working, my first company, it was
uh-huh,
GE Healthcare actually where I worked. So
uh-huh,
for us, the BAs were nurses, and they were like retired nurses. I was in Bangalore then, so we had a US nurse, retired lady, about maybe
uh-huh,
55, 60-year old.
uh-huh.
She was in our office and helping us to understand that, right? a, a
Mhm.
60-year-old nurse would not come at a lower price, right? Imagine.
That's right. Yeah,
They and got it from US to India, so they would still be paying her US salary
that's
to be
right.
in here, right? So that industry is so much of uh, uh, regulated, and the knowledge is there. You cannot just build anything because
Yeah,
if
you
something
have to have
happens,
their yeah, and
right?
it requires you know every single person you need those licensed one, and that
License, yeah,
they occupy a lot of money on.
right.
Because my wife is also from healthcare, and I mean
Okay,
she works here, and her company is based in California, and she
okay,
works in New York. So that company basically what they do is they hire all these doctors and nurse practitioners and stuff, and they assign them in all different hospitals around the U.S. And basically what they do is up here, like you have to bill it to the insurance companies.
right.
Whatever the doctor, let's say if I see you and if I see that okay, you have a blood pressure today, right? So as a doctor, I would put a code that okay, I've noticed that, and Gaurav, I spoke with, I mean, I checked all his body, and I found that he's having hyper pressure. I put him on this medication. So for that, you put a special code, and the insurance company will have to pay you $200 or $100 depending on what code you put in,
Good. Yes, yes.
right? So all
ICD
this,
code, right? ICD 10, 11. I think that has come.
yeah, you're right. My wife knows better than me, but she does all this.
Oh, yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
basically, all these companies they bill to the insurance company, they get them, and then how they do is that they take off their portion, and then they'll pay to the doctors by, let's say, they call it RVU. I don't know what that exactly means, but that's how they pay them. That okay, 60% of that is gonna go to those doctors, and rest is gonna be with the company. And all their
Hmm.
billing structure that goes through their IT department based in California.
Yeah. So yeah. So we had a billing system as well uh, for this. So you have clearing houses, and then clearing houses connects to the actual insurance companies. So
Uh-huh.
from the hospital it goes to clearing house, and
Uh-huh.
clearing house is like a intermediary between insurance companies and hospital,
Mm-hmm.
and then they will connect to different hospital, and you get response from them. So sometimes they also do their validation and things like that to make sure that all the codes and everything is correct.
Yeah.
So
So you were
especially on the
doing it there in
outpatient
India
side.
about of all this US?
Yeah, yeah. So it was electronic medical record (EMR), and this is mostly on the
EMR is
outpatient.
really good. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah,
every single stuff we need EMR. I mean, especially
it
the
was
hospital.
yeah. So it is mostly on the outpatient. Our software was only on the outpatient kind of thing,
Uh-huh.
maybe a single doctor clinic, or even on the big
Nursing homes.
hospitals.
Yes.
On the big hospitals, on the outpatient thing. We never went into inpatient. So outpatient billing and all probably is much easier than the inpatient billing and all. Right? So
Uh-huh.
then you have like copay and things like that, where like you said 60/40 kind of rule and things like that. So
Uh-huh.
when you enter your uh, number, whatever number, like SSN or your medical card number or insurance number, then
Mm-hmm.
the response would come that this person, the insurance is valid, first of all. And second thing, this is the type of insurance that is active. If it is
Uh-huh.
60/40, then they'll charge you 40 and 60 will be paid by insurance companies and things like that.
Okay, okay, that's good. I mean,
Yeah.
you should, make a team of this, and I could find all these doctors here and have you set up there. My wife wanted to open up her own practice with few other doctors, and
Oh.
I was like, well, she's like, Sujal, but I need to have an IT person with me to do all the billing portion. I said, we are Indian, and India is known for IT sector, so we can find. She's
No,
like,
yeah,
no person. Well,
yeah. No, it is. In fact, actually, right. Second popular is healthcare. So, yeah, it's far behind finance, but it's far ahead than other industries.
yeah, it's a very big industry, but as you said, it is, highly regulated. So, I mean, people are very scared of putting their step in. But
Yeah,
the one who are there, they are very well off
yeah,
because they know the trick then, and they know that there is no other competitor for them.
yeah, yeah. True. Because small mistake, and you can be so now talk about. I'll tell you example of healthcare. Sorry, GE Medical System Healthcare
Mhm.
is one of the biggest companies in healthcare side, and not more on IT, but from the devices side, it is very big.
Mhm.
We have MRI, X-ray, and all those machines. Mostly in the hospitals, you'll see from GE. Now, so GE had a business called invasive. division. Invasive means all those your injections and things like which goes inside body.
Yes, yes, invasive carrier.
And so they made all those kind of things. We had a FDA, and every 6 months or the other they'll have this called as audits, right?
Inspection.
FDA audit.
Yeah, audits. Yes.
So everything was fine. Factory was doing good. We were number one in invasive devices. Invasive devices. We were number one in US. Uh, Great reviews, great product. But when they did audit, they found that some of the documents were missing or it was not aligned. So document had something else and it was being manufactured in factory as something else. Now, these people they don't care about what you manufacture in the plant. They care about the documentation, right? If
Uh-huh.
because tomorrow, if, let's say there's some problem
Mhm.
and somebody sues you that I did not get proper treatment, you have to
Mhm.
have document to show them that you followed a process, right?
Yes.
If you have a documentation that you followed a process and you give the treatment that is good enough, whether you give good treatment or not, that is different thing. So they they went through that and they found lot of gaps and they said these are the gaps you need to fulfill it. We'll come back after a couple of months. They went
Mhm.
back and still the gap was not there. They put seal on our factories. They said you cannot produce any of these items or you cannot sell any of these items till you get your process right and
Uh-huh.
once you are done you let us know, we'll come back, we'll inspect again. Till then
Mhm.
you are not manufacturing any product.
That's right.
Okay.
I mean,
And so CEO of the division, this
mhm.
G operates as multiple CEOs. CEOs of the division was fired. The
Uh-huh.
quality person who was the quality head of the division was
Mhm.
made CEO,
Yeah.
and all everybody in that division, and we had a team in Bangalore also. The, everybody in that division, right from like engineers to everyone, they
Mhm.
were doing documentation for whole 1 year.
Uh,
It took them 1 year to correct the process, start documentation from scratch. Everybody was writing documents based on that. After
uh-huh.
1 year, they went, they reviewed, everything was done, and then the ban was removed and they started producing.
Uh-huh. I know the
So, yeah,
FDA is very, very hard organization, and they're very stricter.
yeah,
Even
very
in
strict.
you won't believe up here, the generic
Yeah,
companies we have,
right.
they have units set up in India. In Canada, there's this big one called Apotex, and there are
Okay.
like so many units in India, and FDA found that they were not following their practice. So once they shut it off, it created such a big buzz here. People have stopped buying those products.
Oh,
Yeah, all this,
yeah,
in North America, people are very, they're like, oh, this is from Apotex. They're having a lot many lawsuits, and FDA had banned them. So I don't want that product. Give me a different generic and stuff. And
yeah,
now Apotex is almost going in bankrupt.
exactly.
So
And you cannot, you need to have deep pockets to survive that kind of impact.
that's right. That's But the other side, I mean, this the EMR and all that stuff that you were saying, it's a very good one where you don't need
Yeah,
an FDA approval or anything. You're basically there to support all this,
right,
organizations
right. So
and fulfilling their IT needs.
I don't know now, but there were talks that EMR could also come under FDA. So because a lot of new um, software things were coming up, so they were planning to have their different wing. I'm not sure what has happened because I lost touch for more than almost 9 years now. But they were planning to do have, so they have, FDA has like ABC category, right?
Uh-huh.
ABC category, and based on the definition of ABC category, the IT solutions would not fit under any of those. So, but
Uh-huh.
still, as a GE practices, they had a quality person, and the 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 strictness of which we used to do FDA regulated stuff and non FDA were at the same level. Because if tomorrow, if the process change again, you don't want to go and do it from scratch. So
That's
that's what
right.
they're maintaining it. But so there are some conditions. Uh, what we did was, and I think there's some audit. I don't know whether it was internal audit. So we also do a lot of internal audit so that we are ready for FDA audit. So a lot of internal
Uh-huh.
audit. So one example was, whenever you develop some software, right, some new feature, you would not go and implement at every hospital or every site. We had some site called pilot site. We call them as pilot site. So these
Yes.
pilot sites are like, good customer of us, and they
Mm-hmm.
also get discount in return. So we used
Mm-hmm.
to implement those at pilot site
Mm-hmm.
and get their feedback. And once we get good feedback and everything is working fine, then we would go
Then
at
you lost.
national level and try to sell. So
Uh-huh.
they said you should not use pirate site. Say that this is a healthcare business. You cannot test on live patient.
Uh-huh.
So, so we changed the name from pilot site to limited release.
Oh, okay. No, but you're right. I mean, this pilot thing, we are still doing it. I mean, in pharmacy, right now, the company that I'm with, they have almost over like 2,000 stores.
Okay.
So, how it goes is it's all like online. So
Hmm.
when we input the prescriptions, it goes through the insurance electronically, and once it goes through the insurance company pays you and stuff, and then it goes into the next step, and the pharmacist checks it, signs it. So all this time, like if anything gets stuck, then you cannot function, right? Or if there are any glitches, then we have to inform it to our director and stuff, and they take it to the upper level. But the IT setup for this entire company is based in India.
Okay.
So let's say if we get stuck, if my system doesn't work, we called it NSC, National Support Program. We call them, and they direct our phone to either Hyderabad or Bangalore,
Okay.
and and the person there, they directly get a command on our computer through IP address,
Uh,
and they help us, unfreeze that or take us out from that, basically. And anytime when they notice those problems happening more, then they try to work on a pilot program and bring some kind of new solutions. So now
right.
we have, right now, what ours is back in the days, as you said, it was all paper thing. You get the
Right.
prescription of like paper. Now everything comes digitally. My wife, when she writes a prescription, it goes direct. She doesn't need to write. She just put it in the computer, and
Right. Right.
it gets into a pharmacy system, and from there, like when we check it, back in the days, we have a paper to check and sign on it. Now we have a signing pad, and on the computer screen, we see the digital copy of the prescription.
Right.
So we sign on that prescription pad digitally. So all those records
Right.
stays in the computer. So basically, I
Yeah.
mean, slowly they're going into this.
Yeah.
Um, but I think there is still room for this side that some IT company
Right.
can go in.
See, but still, though it's not paper anymore, but still the process is like a paper. Still, everybody in the chain has to see it, sign it,
That's
right?
right. Yeah, yeah.
There's not, yeah, right. So from efficiency perspective, it's not much. IT should be, you send it, it's done. Everybody it should be updated automatically, but that doesn't
Uh-huh.
happen because still everybody has to see it, sign it. In the hospital, let's say a nurse or a junior doctor will write the report and everything. They will do it, but still you
Mhm.
need the senior doctor to sign on it.
That's right.
Right. Probably they would not even read what's written. They will just sign because they trust their people. But still, you
Yeah.
need them to sign on it, and until that person comes in, it's still there in the system, but still it's waiting. It's not gone.
Mm-hmm. And even like now they're putting, all this online apps and stuff here where you can directly go and on your app and talk to the doctors
Yeah.
rather than waiting for your appointment for a long time.
So in fact, there is a center in Bangalore. The company, if I remember correctly, is called Teleradiology, and
Uh-huh.
started some, I think, 12, 13 years back. The
Uh-huh.
guy, the doctor who started this in US
Uh-huh.
was Indian who moved there,
Uh-huh.
cardiologist, and he started different centers in US where you can upload your X-rays, chest X-ray and things like that, and doctor
Yes.
from here would give you recommendation. You can come
Uh-huh.
to the center. You can talk to the doctor in India, uh, something like that. So the hospital in the US would have very few doctors. Bulk
Mm-hmm.
of them, because doctors would be sitting here in IT office, and all the reports would come here in the US evening. Here daytime they'll work on it, send them the report. By morning, it's available. Everything is available. Now, of course, this was a big business, right? What is that called? The doctors used to speak, right, on that, and then you convert that speech into text. So
Oh
doctor would
yeah,
not write the
dictate.
prescription.
Yeah, they dictated.
Yeah, they just dictate. The recordings will come here, and people here would medical transcription. It was a very very big business. I remember, like,
Transcription.
when
Yeah, it
yeah
is
when I
now.
was, yeah, because of the text to speech and kind of software that we already
Yes,
have.
because that's what my wife uses now. They call her Dictator. There is a different software they use. I don't know what it is, but you speak and it types your.
Types, yeah. But when I was in my engineering,
Hmm.
lot of jobs were there in that medical
Yeah,
transcription field.
I mean it's there. Even up here, the telemedicine is booming now. Um,
Yes. Yes,
like
delivery.
let's say the doctor works at one place and they have set up their offices at different location where they just do a video conference and sees the patients. So that's how they, see more number of patients and bills them.
Yeah.
And even there are companies where they send all the blood test results back in India. They analyze and bring the results here
Yeah.
to make it
Yeah.
cost effective.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, technology is creating that kind of impact, for no doubt. The distance doesn't matter uh,
Hmm.
these days, right? Technology in place, and see, this wasn't possible probably 10 years back, because when you're looking at, say, X-ray, for example, it has to be very clear. The image has to be clear, right?
Yeah.
High resolution images. You cannot. I mean, it's not like a Xerox copy where you take Xerox and send it. So the
Hmm.
technology has to be of high end, where it's not the. In fact, when you have these digital images taken, right, of X-ray and things
Hmm.
like that, those are sent. So we had a in our G, we had a separate division. We call them as packs.
Uh-huh.
The packs stood for something, pictorial something something, and that was a uh, uh, it was a what do you call, like, standard for transferring these digital images, like X-ray images and things like that, because X-ray image should be taken in X-ray room. Now
Hmm.
the doctor has to view on it, has to view on his desktop, right? So it was called retrieval system, pictures,
Uh-huh.
archival and retrieval system, something like that they call it. So
Hmm.
so you could pull up anybody's X-ray on your desktop. So those there in the X-ray database, X-ray department, you should be able
Uh-huh.
to pull up, and it should come with the same clarity, right?
Yeah, I mean
Uh,
the way this technology is evolving. The other day, my friend was like, now we don't need scanner or anything. In iPhone, you can scan directly and stuff.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. I have a
mm,
app called Cab Scanner, and if I have to submit my like say travel bills and things like that, or for income tax,
uh-huh.
all the proofs and things like that, you just scan and upload. You don't have to
I
go to
know,
all our printers in office has scanner, but I've never went to scanner
but
ever.
that cam scanner, I have that app, but you don't even
Yeah,
need that if you have iPhone then. Do you have iPhone?
yeah. I don't have iPhone. Yeah.
Okay, because now in
And,
iPhone, Apple had changed it. You know when they have their notes. Um,
okay.
so when you went into the notes and type your notes, there is an option of scanning the documents and stuff.
Uh,
Yeah, so I mean, Apple is bringing like so many stuff in it.
which- yeah.
Then like
Yeah,
taking scanner and printer, everything off.
yeah. And I have slides to show. That's why probably I have to carry a laptop. But if somehow the slides were lighter and I don't even need a laptop to take this meeting, right? I could be sitting in train,
Uh-huh.
bus, walking on the road, and taking this class on my phone, right? I just have to pull up my presentation in front of you.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, so if somehow if that presentation could be made lighter and these days phones have so much of GBs of space, right? Even space is not a problem.
That's right. Yeah, they're like very advanced version now. So yeah, Gaurav, I mean, tomorrow, if it's okay, we'll set
Yeah.
up the same time, and
Yes.
I don't mind stretching a little bit
Yep.
extra
Yep.
tomorrow. It's just tonight. I have to leave now because
Yeah.
tomorrow I have to go to work. So
Sure. Sure. Yeah.
yeah.
Sure. And tomorrow we may not have to take break as well because it's being Sunday, my wife will be at home, so
Mhm.
we can continue without that
Okay.
15 minutes break. It's only on weekday I need. Otherwise,
Uh,
on that's Sunday for me tomorrow, so that's not a problem.
okay. Well, that's good. Okay.
Sure.
So
Yeah. We'll see you
I'll catch you
tomorrow.
tomorrow.
Yeah. Good night.
Bye. Bye now.
Bye.